up to speed with the latest local, national, and international newspaper headlines. Start your day with information and have your say on the newspaper review on The Morning Crossfire.
Only on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
Good morning, 27 minutes gone past 6 o'clock. A cool morning out there. How are you doing? Time for us to get into the papers. The Punch is here, and we will throw in the Guardian. Before we get into those, if you'd like to join the conversation, 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003, 0817 923 0009 are the numbers to call. In the Punch newspaper, no work, no pay directive. FG battles NARG, opens attendance registers. Resident doctors adamant. Interpol arrests Nigerian trafficker, 286 others. Nation with healthy people possible, says Gambari. Sit at home, confrontation looms as IPOB blows hot, government vows clamp down. PDP governors meet today. Reps Caucus demand Secondo's resignation. FG postpones vaccination resumption indefinitely. Lists 3,707 cases in 7 days. We've got Samuel calling from Rumukalabo. Good morning, Samuel.
Morning, no. I want to say that the Ministry of Labour telling the doctors to resume work. Are there do the agreement between them and doctors? The answer is no. So why are you forcing them to go back to work when they are not fulfilled the agreement? When they are not fulfilled their grievance? Why they went to strike? So they should do the need to, not forcing them to go to work and say they are in charge. They should do the need to before the doctor when they will go to work. Thank you.
All right, thank you for calling. Ida is calling. Good morning, Ida. Let's hear you. Hello, Ida. You're on. Let's hear you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my brother, I want to talk about the PDP governors meeting today and the rest for second resignation. Second should resign. Please, it's not capable to handle PDP matter. It should resign. Thank you very much. God bless you. I remember that from Korogu.
Good morning. Hello, let's hear you.
Yeah, good morning. Yes, very nice customer. River State Ministry of Education threatened to sanction any private school that closed before the approved closing date of the River State Ministry of Education. For me, let Governor Wike look into this Ministry of Education, because if you see, the Commissioner of Education is not being good to education sector. Because Enoh, you can't tell me that students who have taught for 14 good weeks we close on 10th and opened on 13th. No break. I don't know human being. Since the assumption of administration of this Commission of Education is going wrong in the Ministry of Education, there is no benefit that come from Ministry of Education that gets schools. What is wrong with the administration? So governor should look into it. Thank you very much.
All right, Cookie Gam is in room Lumeni. Good morning, Cookie Gam.
Hello, good morning. PDP caucus have asked secondary to resign. And it bothers me why they are pushing this man to resign. This man have less than 4 months to exit as PDP chairman. Why this force every day? I don't know the crisis that is in PDP now. PDP, they say they are largest party in West Africa. They should allow secondary to finish his tenure now. Tenure has just December. It's convention December. Who are they afraid of secondaries? Who is afraid of secondaries in this country?
All right, Temple is calling from Rumasi. Good morning, Temple. Let's hear you.
Good morning, the very distinguished Enoh. On the issue of threatening the resident doctors, I'm appealing to the doctors. They should stick to their demand. As far as I'm concerned, the specialist is going to employ. He is not going to bring them from abroad. He's not going to bring them from his community. He sees resident doctors who also will go on the same demand. So for me, his stress does not hold order. As far as IPOP sits at home order, that is the problem with IPOP. The sitting at home order should be a choice. It's not by force. It should be a choice. They should stop using their reason to spoil other people's rules.
All right.
Those are livelihood of humans. Doesn't make sense. Thank you.
Thank you for calling. On Facebook, we have Ayus Mike says, I wonder why he is asking the striking doctors to go back to work while the matters have not been resolved. This my party should do the needful. Noble, federal government should look for a lasting solution to settling doctors' strike instead of giving a fruitless threat of no work, no pay. This is rainy season. There will be many patients to attend to. Let the federal government do the needful so they'll go back to their duty posts. Ayamu says, I stand with Uche Secondus. Any attempt to force him to resign will cause more doom to the party. Lorenzo Delights, on the FG kicking off the second batch of COVID-19 vaccination, says it will help curb the spread. But an update there saying that that has been put on hold for now. We go to WhatsApp. We've got messages. We start with Woyike. The real estate government and its resident doctors should resolve their issues amicably, as I urge both parties to consider the people first before taking any actions. Doctors have the rights, what they asked government for, because they're more exposed to health challenges for the betterment of the public. Bakata sent that in from Uzwoha. Ejala says, Honorable Lulu was given chieftaincy installation for his good performance in Apani community. I want to urge the youths of Ikwe local government to emulate him. Where are we? Williams from Fuche community. Dr. Ngige is hollering for publicity and relevance. Federal government shouldn't joke with the lives of their citizens by bringing our health sector to be at par with the West and other parts of the world. On the sit-at-home order, IPOB shouldn't force people to do their bidding because it will definitely infringe on the rights of the people. Eze Aliko is saying the federal government should quickly come to a proper agreement with resident doctors based on this strike, because it will be a disaster if the strike continues. Where are we? Rafael Linda is supporting the resident doctors for refusing to resume work today. River State government should desist from restraining doctors from protesting. When has protest become a crime? Jerry from Umwebulu says, Mercy's press conference yesterday made me cry. It was a true definition of a love for a club. 21 years. 21 years. That's a lot of time. Court will always restrain resident doctors River State because Governor Wike is in charge. After all, he controls the judiciary the way he wants. A government that uses force against every sector is a shameful one. Wike be fair for once. Jokel sent that in. The proposed early closure of private schools in the state is uncalled for, hence there is an existing calendar already. Fidelly says that. Where are we? Federal government should look for a lasting solution. I read that already on the other side. I keep saying the only way our health care will get better is to ban medical tourism. How can Mr. President be in London having all the care while doctors are on strike here? Government of today is a clear definition of insensitivity. So sad. Emmanuel sent that in from Iwarfare Road. Senate refuting state creation of the 20 states, North 14, including Abuja, South 6. Southern senators watch it very well. Doctor strike, government, federal and state are known for failing to keep to MOU reached. Too bad. PDP reps caucus demand Uche Secondus resignation. I keep telling my friends in PDP to hit the door because they said PDP is dying every day. I can't stop laughing in China. Every day. Thank God send that in. Austin says, IPOB is like a butterfly that thinks itself a bird. It should watch it and stop assuming powers that it doesn't have. They should not force anyone to sit at home in totality if a person doesn't want to do so. Uche Secondus should resign. I concur with that. But the question is, who will take over? Unoha, Kingsley. No work, no pay for any RD members. I urge the doctors to consider the masses in their decision. Each time they are needed most by Nigerians, this is when they root out one excuse and go on strike. We have Delta variant killing people in hospitals. They are essential workers in Nigeria. No one is being paid as supposed. What do they want policemen to do? Let's assume police go on strike today. What will happen? They are here to serve humanity. That comes first. This one says, Nigerian doctors should collaborate with their fellow doctors outside, asking them not to attend to Nigerian politicians outside the state. Well, they can't do that, you know. IPOB always talks about human rights for their leader, but look at them threatening people who don't want to obey their order. Look at them with North Korean tendencies. That's a new one. And Enobieka GKC is asking a question about the vaccination. I would have a doctor come through during the week to have us talk about this. Lawman Nadi from Ozuzu, the threat by the government to sanction private schools for non-compliance to academic calendar is a good one. Some private schools owners want to turn education down. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, 0817-923-0009. IPOP sit at home order. I know this won't fly. There's a part tussle between the IPOP spokesman and Kanu's brother. My question is Biafra a family business? Hemadu Charles. So Imam Powerful, IPOP spokesperson, says Kanu's brother is not a member of IPOP and he cannot, say what he said. River State Ministry of Education to sanction private schools who close before September 10th. Now I ask, why are they focusing on private schools alone, whereby neglecting their own state schools with no teachers and structure? And private schools are a problem of the educational sector in River State, leaving target to pursue shadows. That's Christy. Barawa Victor says PDP should settle their matter carefully. Forcing the national chairman to resign will cause more harm to the party. We expect them to be planning ahead of 2023. We've got Chris from Artillery. Chris, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Let me talk about this FPOB speak at home. It's either some people don't understand common English. I know that English is a protocol. Somebody said sit at home, not everybody. Even if there are no people that are telling to sit at home, it's not you. I don't know why some people carry this IPOB matter for head, and the people that are calling all these things is people that they didn't even support. Anytime IPOB says sit at home, they will carry it on their head. How does it concern?
Solution.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I want to talk about the cancer and information about the losses as well. And this thing is generating heat in the southeast. Like, for example, now, so many people that are supposed to travel for August meeting today, they are postponed it. They are postponed it tomorrow, then on Tuesday, because of the way they heat, cold everywhere. Tomorrow they say no movement to America. The people on their phone willingly decide to sit down because of the heat and the information spreading around us today. Most people are avoiding the sort of problem. Let me just start from my rest. Imagine how movement are supposed to start today. Then she said it tomorrow to tell you how heat that is hitting the surface. And the government said that we should not pay staff because of if they decide to sit at home. For my own opinion, someone is not supposed to take that decision. Yes, because they decide to stay at home because of the fear.
Abinoye is in Abuan. Good morning, Abinoye.
Yeah, good morning. The cancer order of IPOP sit at home, I think is needless. I think that sentiment cannot help that group. I think that what things have done is to look for lawyers because it's a rule of law. There's no need to lock your economy and then give more problems to yourself. Instead of you to look at how you can go to court.
Court over what? Court over what?
Sorry?
Court for what?
Yes, they said that you can court on treason.
Oh, crime himself.
So sorry?
Yeah, but they're in court. I thought you were talking about the sit at home. Well, Opandu, Yanni, let's hear you.
Good morning, Enoh. PDP governors will meet, and the House of Reps will say that the chairman of PDP secondaries must go. I think that is not a good news. Last week, the chairman accused those who are asking him to go of collecting popcorn from a leader in the South. I think that leadership is a very serious business. We cannot afford to lose our leaders because of ordinary popcorn and changing. If he has not performed well, he has to go. So collecting popcorn and changing because of and asking the leader to go is not a welcome development here in this country. So I want them to do the right thing. If he has not performed well, let him go. But because of changing and popcorn, that is not a good one. That is my take.
All right, thank you for calling. Promise is calling from Umodumaya. Good morning, Promise.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, Dr. Chris telling us this morning that he will replace the striking doctors. That statement is not a welcome development. And any Nigerian that goes for that replacement is blind, because the same thing they are doing to these striking doctors will also be the same thing that will be done to them as well. I am so shocked that a doctor like Chris Ngige, who has 2 children that are also doctors, will come out openly to be saying a thing like this, instead of thinking of how to solve this crisis. Knowing fully well that these people are helping us when it comes to medicals and so on, taking care of people. That is to say that this government doesn't have value for the lives of Nigerians. Thank you.
All right, thank you for calling. On Facebook, we have Emmanuel Chuku. Ministry of Education should focus on making our education sector an envy of all, because our educational system has collapsed. Kelechi Kaz, good morning. This no work, no pay threat by the federal government is an indirect way of trying to pocket the NARG, and this move should be rejected. This government is very insensitive to the plight of workers, and it's not good at all. Enifiaga is saying forcing Uche Secondus to resign might not be a better option for the stability of PDP. Governor Wike's men in the House of Reps should take things easy. The coercive mentality of the Biafra dictators is very uncivilized, undemocratic, and annoying. IPOB often claims hold to rights, but always undermines other people's rights. Jimo says, good morning, Enoh. PDP governance to meet today over Secondus saga. For me, it's high time my leaders have resignation in their dictionary. You can't continue to preside over an organization that continues to be moving backwards. Finally, IPOB sit-at-home order this terrorist group said. We've got JJ in Rumigbo. Good morning.
Yeah, no, good morning. This IPOB and Biafra thing, I'm thinking that if they loosely come to be, they will be worse than North Korea. You want people to obey your order, but you don't obey anybody. I've not seen such madness before. I think as it stands right now, the Enoh Kanu younger brother is wiser than everybody in IPOB. No, I thought we were told that oil is going, crude oil is going. Why the forfeit of Total in their Ikika project? They said oil is gone, they are going into alternative energy. The forfeit made me think that they've been deceiving us all this while. So we are watching. Thank you very much.
Hey Ken from HA, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Let me look at resident doctors defining federal government threats of no work, no pay. According to one of the doctors spoke, he said he is highly disappointed at Ngige. That Ngige was a senior colleague. Ngige is not a doctor of philosophy, but a medical doctor who has sometimes embarked on strike because of inability of the federal government and the state government to meet up their demands. Today, a civil servant turned a super politician and could not defend where he was coming from. It is too unfortunate. I believe it is high time federal government and state settle these doctors. They are human as well. Then asking Uche Secondus to resign. Ordinarily I wouldn't have said anything because the last time I checked, party is too supreme and their decision is final. But my worry this morning is when you see 80% of opposition clapping for another person in another party, it makes me feel like Uche Secondus is another sheriff, and something has to be done about it. Good morning.
Mamai Beam says, welcome. Oh, no work, no pay. The government should be very ashamed to see doctors and other institutions go on strike before doing what is needed. I personally asked Ogabubu, if doctors in London were on strike, would he have gone there for treatment? He should be ashamed of himself and his government. All those against the action of the government, the doctors rather, should be shameful. They won't fix our health sector because they have public money at their disposal to go abroad to access better health care, which they cannot make available to their country. Shame on the government. The only problem is that the strike does not affect any politician and their family. Otherwise, this strike should have continued. We go to WhatsApp at this time. Mrs. Oni from Port Harcourt. It has come to the attention of the Rivers State government that private schools plan to vacate. This is laughable. It hasn't come to their notice that government schools haven't gotten any funding since this year. It hasn't come to their notice that the SS3 students in the state are writing NECO without adhering to COVID-19 guidelines. Our students almost sit on each other for lack of seats in classroom. It hasn't come to their notice that teachers sit under the trees because there are no staff rooms. Other states are already on holidays to resume a new session in September. Ministry of Education, private schools are not your problem. Please focus. PDP governors to meet. Uche Secondus should be allowed to complete his tenure. Asking Uche Secondus to resign will cause more harm than good. Pulling down syndrome in River State politics should stop. Skipo send that in. Pius Lemmy from IAUE. The sit-at-home order by IPOP should not be imposed on anyone. It should be by choice. On the matter of PDP and its chairman, Prince Uche Secondus, I think it's better they allow their national chairman lead the party. Calling him to resign will cause more defection and division in the party. 0817-923-0002. JG says the situation with the sit-at-home is really straightforward. People obey before they fear for their lives. Same government that will fail to keep people safe will expect them to come out to face IPOP alone. On any RD strike, that Ngige is egoistic and really isn't a good fit for Labour ministry. He's not handling the situation right. Ngige is a colossal embarrassment. I rest my case. That's gift interim. Ministry of Education threatening private schools for early closure before 10th September and to resume on the 13th of September. They should note that pupils are humans, not machines. At least they should at least have 2 weeks holiday. Ugochukwu Odwali sent that in. Good luck is calling from Amuma. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Enoh. Minister of Education is planning to sanction any private school who did not comply. But my own question is, those schools provided by government, what have government done over them? For instance, government secondary school they base in Amuma government area, the environment is not conducive for the students. They should first of all make sure that the environment of the government school or any government school is clean before talking about sanctioning of private school. They should come to Amuma, more especially the Commission of Education, should come to Amuma and see the environment of government secondary school they base in Amuma government area. It's diabolic and diabolical. So they should come and help our students here to feel the difference of environment and for conduciveness. Thank you.
Oh, I've got OG calling from Bukwako. Good morning, OG.
Yeah, good morning, Enoh. PDP Secondus resignation. I think the plans before that APC has been having issues, they are all happy. There is a saying that says in Ebola, APC is supporting the Secondus. He should go ahead with his tenure. And also the secondary school in River State. I think the state governor and the state government does not have anything to do. They don't have any other plans for River people. They should go ahead. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, OG, for calling. We have Onyume. Good morning, Enoh. IPOP sit-at-home order will work. For me, I'm sitting at home. We have Christian, since it's unfortunate that Mr. President on a medical trip in the UK when our own medical sector is down with the doctors, resident doctors on strike. May God help us. Why is government asking doctors to come back to work? Meanwhile, the government doesn't want to do the needful. No good hospitals here. When all those in power are sick, they run overseas to get the best treatment. Selfish leaders. IK says that. Kingsley. Okay. The FG should listen to the demands of the resident doctors to avoid the already dilapidated health sector in the country deteriorating further. The doctors know what they're protesting for. As such, they should be considered to enable them return to work. And then we have Amachi from Kakrama in Oyibo says, Imam Powerful threatening that anyone violating IPOP sit-at-home directive will get it hard is invariably saying they do not have compliance without force or threat of force. If his order is powerful as they hope, those making the threat to make people get it hot will be sat at home. Okay, well. Ministry of Education is sanctioned schools. That's all Professor Kanye Baker and Dr. Adede. No threat. NECO is ending. Did they send the usual insufficient practical materials, test tubes, rulers and iodine to us in government schools? No. Did they give us cash to purchase perishables and specified chemicals? No. Yet they're threatening schools. Why? Is coming next week. What is their plan? Yet in these days of mental health awareness, they're threatening schools for closing early. Teachers in River State are to teach from April till December with only a total of 2 weeks holiday. Commissioner of Health should advise them. The IPOB declaration of sit at home every Monday is more or less a confirmation to the wrongdoing to their leader in government's custody. Christian H. sent that in. Chidi, the self-acclaimed PDP strongman, should use the money using to push secondaries out for youth empowerment or payment of gratuity to the retirees in the state. Justice, employees have a valid contract with employers. Forcing people to stay away from work for IPOB cannot be a welcome development. It is becoming clearer that the tag on them is no mistake. Why should disobeying the sit at home be with consequences? Why are we talking about hospitals and doctors and strike when our president, since he assumed office, has been on medical jamboree in London? Not even the National Hospital is functioning. People like Ngige are disappointment to this nation. He should shamefully resign. Oh, Quarantine, did he? You see people telling me that PDP and APC are different. I laugh, and this avenue is the right one to tell them that both PDP and APC are the same people, the same mentality and approach to national issues. Listen to Chris Ngige and Governor Wike threatening doctors. You give NAS members cumbersome, large salaries, but neglect the lifesavers to peanuts. This is very preposterous. Doctors should continue strike from Starry Jamal in Port Harcourt. I thought people love IPOB. Why now forcing them to obey sit-at-home policy? Haba. It's an order. Actually, people should be allowed to go and hustle. Kaji, send that in. Melody, ABC national leader in US for medical treatment. Well, last time I checked was in London. APC Grand Leader, President Buhari in London for medical treatment. Nigerian doctors on strike due to poor welfare. What an irony. Where do we go for our own treatment? Ngige is threatening his colleagues due to politics. What a shame for our leaders. I wish our doctors abroad would stop treating these selfish leaders. Melody, that's why we have native doctors now. If a doctor cannot treat us, we go to native doctors. You're asking. Oh my, what a terrible situation that is. Other states have balanced their academic calendar. Okay, starts with River State's a great joke. How can schools be directed to remain open till September when other states already started their long vacation since July? No wonder River State is one of the most backward states in terms of education in the country. Other states have balanced their academic calendar after COVID-19, but River State is still struggling to get her feet. No rest for pupils, students and teachers, including non-stop payment of school fees by parents. Learning doesn't take place in such a continuing situation, doctor. This one says, Enoh, to be honest, when you visit some government schools, you cry. Amako Mba Eche, SS Oreo 2, no chair, no table, no classroom, no teachers. Very unfortunate. Uche can send that in. And the final one from Ikago Etoke from Uzwoba. Government should stop harassing private schools. Their function is to monitor compliance with standard and quality of education, not how long they stay. Most private schools had adopted online learning since COVID outbreak and had adhered to the normal school calendar. And that's a wrap this morning. We'll talk about the resident doctors. The government is saying no work, no pay, will replace you. And the doctors are saying, well, suit yourself. All right, I'll talk to someone after the news at 8 o'clock. My name is Enoh. Just stay tuned.